and Shenyun was amazing. I found this is my first time seeing it, and I was absolutely inspired. I think it's a miracle, actually. It's a very brilliant way to show the true culture of China. And I have been to China. I have studied quite a bit of Chinese history and Chinese culture. I have, in my military experiences, I have served in the Asia-Pacific theater, and I'm very familiar with the Chinese military. And I think, what I found was Shenyun was really a testimony to the true nature of what China could be if they were given an opportunity to be free, an opportunity to have a true culture, a true Chinese culture that goes back thousands and thousands of years, and could be an inspiration to many other parts of our world. And I think today the difference between what Shenyun is trying to bring to the world is a true picture of what China could be. What we see from the Chinese Communist Party is just the opposite of what Shenyun is really trying to inspire the rest of the world to understand, and that's the true nature of what China could be. I think that my big takeaway from this is that there is such a vast knowledge of what Chinese culture is really all about, and it's, as you're highlighting, this idea that that goes back 5,000 years. One of the oldest documented cultures in the world, and I think what Shenyun does is it takes in a couple of hours, it takes 5,000 years and brings it to life, and it brings it to a reality that's understandable. Chinese Communist Party actually does not want the rest of the world to understand the greatness and the strength of Chinese culture. They want to try to have it viewed from one very narrow lens, through one very narrow lens, and it's the lens of this faithless society. And one of the things that comes out of Shenyun is a very strong, it's a powerful, powerful sentiment of faith, and I think that's something. And in fact, I know that the Chinese Communist Party wants nothing to do with faith, and it's a system of government that is very tyrannical. The vast majority of the Chinese people in China know that they are under the boot of a tyrannical dictator, and that's a tragedy. Because there's so much potential that the Chinese people could have for the rest of the world. The performance that showed the persecution, and during different stories that were being told, was done superbly, and it was a really exceptional way that they brought out this persecution, and how people who are just trying to live their daily lives are being persecuted for no reason, really. For trying to just be free, to read what they want to read, to think the way they want to think, to have relationships they want to have. And I think that the Shenyun did an amazing job of highlighting that. And I was, I enjoyed those parts because it brought to me, kind of brought it home to me that what Shenyun is doing for not just the American people, but doing for the world. Because I think there's six of these troops that are going all over the world doing this, and I think I admire what Shenyun is doing for the world, to show the world what a true China can be. And I think that's remarkable. We were talking earlier about how, particularly the New York Times, which is it's one of the major newspapers, certainly news outlets in this country, in the United States, and they've been just attacking, this wonderful, creative piece of art that Shenyun is, and I wonder, why? You have to ask why. why is a major United States newspaper working with the Chinese Communist Party to attack this beautiful piece of art, this art form of culture of what China could be? Maybe there was 10 or 12 different stories that were told there. Each one of them was totally different, but they all blended together in this beautiful culture that I think that the American people need to see more of. Certainly America, and I think the rest of the world, but I think what comes out of Shenyang is the idea of this just really blended culture that most Americans don't understand. Most Americans see something totally different, and I think if they see Shenyang, they're going to be they're going to be turned on to something that's so beautiful, and I think that's the part that I'm going to remember.